So in this video I'm going to be comparing the adverts from the Sight and Sound magazine and the Empire magazine. The first thing, if we look at the Empire magazine, this massive double page spread is the first advert on the inside of the front cover. I've talked about this in my previous video with the QR code and it's quite nifty, but again it's for a massive feature film that's outcoming. It's shouting the idea that it's at the IMAX, it's shouting the idea that it's coming out March, Jennifer Lawrence, it's got Star Theory there. Box office draw, it's pulling it all there and it's a massive box office hit. If we now look at the inside cover of Sight and Sound, this is advertising a film called Wake in Fright. This is quite an old film actually. I think it was from 1971 if my memory is correct. I think it was that. But it's advertising the fact that it's being re-released in cinemas. When I did a little bit of research, it's being re-released in some independent cinemas, some small branches, and some small branches in big cities basically. So again, that shows the difference between full feature lengths to this was quite a good film, we're independently showing it. Advertising it, it's not a double page spread, which again shows the focus isn't on adverts. So the next advert we come across is in Empire magazine. This is the next advert after the double page spread, and this is obviously advertising McDonald's, as you can see there. Obviously McDonald's is a massive company and it's worldwide, so with saying that, it shows that big companies are investing in this magazine because they know it's going to a massive mainstream audience and not a small little niche audience. So it will be big companies that's advertising their stuff in here. So for example, if we turn over, we can see a few pages on the line they're advertising the clothing brand Hawkers. So this is Empire which is doing this. So like I said, big companies will be there. For example, here's another one. HMV was also in that magazine. So that shows that it is massive companies investing in this. Another little side note I'd like to include is I found this actually in the Empire magazine. And these used to go around in big gossip magazines. They used to chuck them in, and again it's almost a slight bit of advertising really, about it's like a scratch card, and they're in quite big magazines, but you wouldn't find something like this in Sight and Sound. So looking at the adverts in Sight and Sound, most of the adverts within this are advertising films or places where you'd be able to read about films. So this is a film that started off as an independent company, but it went to be quite a big film, but it's advertising the fact that here's the film, you can watch it. It's got a little bit of information about the film, and you can see by the rosettes at the top that it was a independent film, just by looking at the rosettes, because that's where you get at film festivals. So it's been nominated quite a bit, and that gives like appeal to it. If we keep looking through, you'll be able to see that here's two other films. The first top one I checked on Amazon, you can still buy that today, and that is a special box set they're advertising, so that's something to look out for as well. So again, the main difference is it's not a big brand, it's little films or even big films, but still it's still sticking on the idea that people who like film are reading this magazine, so we'll chuck some film adverts in. Here there's a website, it's advertising a place where you'll be able to buy all the classic films, so again that's more for someone who enjoys film. That's basically it really. We've managed to see there's definitely a big difference between the people who create the adverts and place the adverts and what they are thinking. So they're thinking, right, so we'll put this advert in this book, in this magazine, because this type of audience will be watching it. So it all comes down to demographic and the type of audience of the magazine. So someone reading Sight and Sound are more likely to go watch an independent film than someone reading Empire. They're more likely to be the people that shop in HMV and buy big brand clothes and stuff like that, because it's a massive audience. So you've got a chance of going to greater lengths for it, so that for them to be able to purchase the products. So an example of this would be, so say 1 in every 100 people buy from Hawkers, the clothing shop, but then only 50,000 people buy from Sight and Sound, read Sight and Sound, but then 500,000 people read Empire. Hawkers are going to get more of a market in Empire magazine than they are in the Sight and Sound. But on the other hand, people who read Empire, less of them will watch independent films, and then more people who read Sight and Sound will watch more independent films. So that's how it comes across for plotting the adverts and categorizing the audience and finding out which audience is going to watch what. One very last point which I want to make is in the Empire magazine the main talk was Spielberg. And then 3 pages in, there's a massive advert advertising Jaws in concert. I think that links again. People, like whoever's plotting these adverts, are thinking, right? They like Spielberg, but they're buying this magazine because they like Spielberg. Let's chuck in an advert about one of Spielberg's films. So I think that's a very clever technique as well. Thank you for watching.